White, who has his hair in locks. Truly, there is nothing new under the sun. These are Arawaks from Hispaniola or Haiti at the time of Columbus. Notice their dark skin and afros, as well as the wide chest and broad shoulders. This type of physique and the ability for incredibly strong bursts of energy is what allowed us to navigate mighty rivers and waterways, transporting heavy loads of which we were unsurpassed at. In the book Africa and the Discovery of America by Leo Weiner, which, by the way, partially inspired Andrea Sertimo to write They Came Before Columbus, Leo Weiner says, on November 2nd, Columbus decided to send Rodrigo de Zeres and Luis de Torres, who had lived with the Adelantado of Murcia and was a Jew and knew Hebrew and Chaldaic and some Arabic, to see the king of Cuba in order to present the letters and find out all that was necessary. Naturally, a man who knew Arabic and another who knew the language of Guinea, Africa, as we heard before, were especially adapted to hold converse with the kings of the Indies, which means naturally that the kings of the Indies spoke Arabic. The Harvard scholar, Professor Barry Feld, says in his book, Saga America, that, quote, the old language of the religious chants of tribes such as the Pima in Arizona is so rich in Arabic vocabulary that the chants can be translated in the same way as correspondingly ancient languages in North Africa. These are Californian Aboriginals. Notice the bushy, woolly hair, dark skin, and big lips. These are the Moors of the Pacific Ocean region. They are related to the Moors of the Hawaii, Micronesia, Polynesia, Melanesia, Easter Island, etc. This is an elder Aboriginal of the Andes. She was relating how there were more towns and villages of their people, but how a flood washed away many of them. They were told by the European that they are descendants of runaway slaves, but they have no record of that. Whenever the white supremacist conspirators come across our people in their Aboriginal settings, they always theorize that they Malays that ran away or escaped. Here are some more Andean Aboriginals. They look just like those portrayed in the ceramics from Peru. This is a very interesting article from the magazine called Ancient American, subtitled Archaeology. Just the title alone, quote, the first Americans, red or black, is significant. Just 10 years ago, to even ask this question would have seemed absurd. In this article, he asked the question that if the first Americans came through the Bering Straits and then proceeded south, should not the oldest archaeological sites be in the north and get younger as you proceed south? Yet the opposite is the case. The author also says that the documentation of pre-Columbian Negroes in Mexico and Central America is copious and, quote, well documented. He also says there were two different groups of early man in the Western Hemisphere, and that the group advancing from the south to the north was earlier than the Asiatic migration by a substantial margin. Actually, the bulk of the Oriental Mongol peoples came here as a result of Genghis Khan after 1000 AD. If men entered Americas through South America, he says, they probably originated in Africa. This is a brother who was a warrior/trader. Notice the spear. These are those gold earrings being sported by our people. Las Casas said Columbus thought to investigate the report of the Indians of this Hispaniola or Haiti, who said that they had come to Hispaniola from the south and southeast black people had the tops of their spears made of a metal they call guanine, of which he had samples sent to the Sovereigns to have assayed, when it was found that of 32 parts, 18 were of gold, 6 of silver, and 8 of copper, end quote. The Mayan god of traders and merchants, Achua, was always portrayed as dark-skinned. Cyrus H. Gordon, in the book Before Columbus, says it is significant that in Hebrew, Canaanite designates not only a person from Canaan, but serves also as a common noun meaning merchant. Columbus was told by the king of Portugal that traders from Guinea were trading in America, and they carried spears tipped with a form of gold called guanine, which is related to the word Guinea and Ghana. Ghana is Kana or Cana or Canaan. Thus, we see once again the same Canaanite, Phoenician, Moabite traders. Remember, many of the inhabitants of West Africa claim to have come from Canaan, Egypt, Arabia, and Mesopotamia. Cyrus Gordon, in his book Before Columbus, again says the language of the Minoans, Philistines, and Danites was northwest Semitic, within which fell Hebrew, Phoenician, Ugaritic, Aramaic, and a variety of related dialects such as Moabite and Edomite. These were originally all one people. This picture comes from the same article in Ancient American Archaeology. This is a picture of Spanish conquistadors taking Native Americans captive. Notice the brother standing next to those of Mongol features. The author says, quote, "What a stunning painting. What is the Negro doing here?" End quote. Sometimes when the Moors tell our people about our vast and great civilization we built in this hemisphere from Alaska to Peru, the so-called mound and pyramid builders, they say, "Where are the pyramids and stuff?" I reply to them that the largest documented pyramid is actually in Mexico. It is actually 4 times the volume of the Great Pyramid in Giza. If you were to turn the pyramid in Mexico and the pyramid of Giza both upside down and filled them with water, the pyramid in Mexico would hold 4 times more water. In the book, Mysteries of the Ancient Americas, it says with regards to the pyramids and large complexes to be built in this hemisphere, that the sheer tonnage of earth removed, of rock transported and carved, of bricks dried in the sun, never fails to astound the observer. In Mexico alone, there may be as many as 100,000 pyramids still waiting to be uncovered. This is why we need to train and field our own archaeologists. The extent of our building here in Northwest Africa is incredible. Scattered all throughout North America along the Old Man Mississippi River and its tributaries are found mounds built out of tons and tons of earth. The people who built them are called the mound builders. These mound builders are the descendants of the same Phoenician, Canaanite, Moabite, and Hamite people as are the Olmecs. In this hemisphere, the mounds and pyramid cities were part of a vast civilization and trade network that spanned from Alaska to Peru and actually throughout the world. We were masters of the 7 seas in all trade. The Prophet Noah Drali said, quote, "The Moors were once a seafaring people and fed the world," end quote. Moor means navigator. We were a vast maritime and land-based worldwide civilization. Our Moorines would first master a coastline and then proceed inland via the navigable rivers. The history of our vast civilization here has been either destroyed, suppressed, or distorted. The journal of the Moorish Paradigm endeavors to set the record straight. This was caused by the mysterious cold people of the Hopewell mound builders in Ohio, of an ancestral figure used as an offering. The Prophet Noah Ali said, quote, "The Moors were living up and down the Mississippi River before the